So we've got to understand, first of all, the nutrient requirements of the target species. And we have, I think we have now hundreds of thousands of seafood animals, aquatic animals being raised in either aquaculture or aquaponics. Hi, my name is Paul Brown. I'm a fish nutritionist. I'm one of the very few fish nutritionists you're ever going to meet in your lifetime. There are very few of us. I don't know why that is. It's a great career. I love it. But I feed fish for a living. I play with fish for a living. I formulate diets from various ingredients. And it's just like formulating a diet for a dog or a cat or a pig or a chicken or a cow or a camel. It doesn't matter. It's feed inputs are critical for a healthy animal. So we've got to understand, first of all, the nutrient requirements of the target species. And we have, I think we have now hundreds of thousands of seafood animals, aquatic animals being raised in either aquaculture or aquaponics. We don't know their nutritional requirements. We don't know what feed ingredients they like to eat. We don't know what feed ingredients they will eat if they have no other choice but to eat that. This is a real challenge, and it remains a challenge. And it turns out, though, that there's a whole lot of similarity across fish species. So even though we don't know the specific nutritional requirements of various species, we can feed them fairly accurately. And the beauty of a fish is that they really don't display a lot of nutrient toxicities like mammalian and avian species do. They're very tolerant of very high levels, so we can over-fortify diets and expect still good quality results. Now, in terms of aquaponics, I've argued for a long time that the only input into that system other than money and air is feed. So with that fish feed or shrimp feed or whatever it is, you've got to feed the fish, the shrimp, the bacteria, as well as the plants. Is the fish feed formulated to meet the needs of all three of those various taxa? No, it's not. You can find a lot of aquaponics feeds on the market. I'm currently exploring just how well they're formulated because I'm curious myself. The major aquaculture feeds that I'm used to dealing with, they are not formulated to feed the bacteria or the plants. We tried this a couple of years ago with just the fish bacteria component, and the standard fish feeds, the high quality fish feeds that we know are good quality fish feeds here in the US. We fed those and we looked at the health of the bacteria, and the bacteria were barely hanging on. They were uptaking their critical mineral needs as rapidly as we were putting them in through the fish feed in a high density, high feed input situation. This was not a low density situation. It's a high density situation, lots of feed going in, lots of minerals cycling through the fish out to the bacteria. The bacteria were uptaking these minerals at incredible rates. So then if we add in the plant component and aquaponics, how much minerals left over for the plants? We've got to take a look at that at some point in time. We've done it now with the fish bacteria component. My students are now looking at it in terms of the fish bacteria plant component and the shrimp bacteria plant component. So we're doing this in both freshwater and marine systems, and we've got to beef up the mineral component. I hear from our producers and through other people's here in North America that iron, phosphorus, and potassium are commonly deficient in a lot of hydroponics and aquaponic systems. We had a colleague from the west coast of the US a month or so ago say, we don't have mineral deficiencies in our aquaponic systems in California. Well, I guess they may have different waters or something, but most have some kind of mineral deficiencies they have to add back to the water. We can do this by putting it in the fish feed if we would simply formulate it. The increases would be very low cost. Minerals are one of the least expensive components in a diet. And yet that's the nutrient that the bacteria need, and that's the suite of nutrients that the plants need. So we can add back. Boron is a critical one. Boron among the hydroponics folks and the aquaponics folks, they know boron is needed by plants. There are restrictions on adding boron to animal diets in the US, but there are ways to do it as well. So your choice is to add the minerals back as an individual ingredient like the hydroponics people do. I would like to see us be able just to add the fish feed and you're feeding everything. and we're getting there. We're making some progress on that.